one particularly heartbreaking story, or I'm not sure that it was heartbreaking, but it certainly was enlightening. Enlightening in the warning sense. Was the story that I saw of some recently released prison inmate. I don't know how many years he'd been serving inside prison in the United States. Probably 30 something years, maybe even more. But here's what I do know. The fella was about 64, 65 maybe, and he owned about 3 pieces of clothing, according to himself. He was working in a warehouse, probably working for minimum wage. And when he was talking, you could clearly hear that he was pronouncing words a little bit strange. Probably because he was missing a few teeth, I assume. Which again means, he wasn't ideally set up financially. I mean, imagine this. You're being released in 2026, because he was recently released. You've recently been released in 2026. Inflation is through the roof. You don't have any money. You own about 3 pieces of clothing. Your teeth need to be fixed. Maybe you need, I don't know, several root canals. Maybe you need new teeth. I don't really know. They're expensive. I would assume that they're expensive in the United States as well. They're certainly expensive in my country. And just basic items like food, a place to sleep, etc. It's gonna wreck you. And here you are making, I don't know, $5 an hour, maybe not even that, $3 an hour. I don't really know what the minimum wage is. I guess it depends on the state. I don't know. Anyway, so yeah, horrible situation to be in, really. And this is something that I assume that most people, because I heard this about I heard this in another show that also was talking about prison inmates and about people behind bars, how most of them aren't really smart. Now, I'm not saying this to disparage anybody who's served time or anything, because I'm sure that there are people who are smart also who are behind bars. But if you're locked up for several years, you did something that you probably knew was illegal, and here you are, and you're not very bright. Which kind of makes sense if you look at the stereotypical kind of people who have served a long time. Anyway, where was I going with this? Yes, finances, economy. Imagine being set, or I don't know, all set in air quotes, at the end of your life. You don't have any money. Probably all of your friends, your family, they're dead. Maybe nobody wants to see you. Nobody wants to hang out with you. You don't have anything to do besides going to sleep after work. And you're just existing. It's just awful, horrible. I'm saying this not because I want to rub it in, really, but just to enlighten you and to make you visualize inside yourself, inside your own mind, inside your own head, just how awful it can turn out if you actually don't follow the law. Now, it might be different in your country, in your jurisdiction. I don't really know. I'm just saying this is a potential consequence. And so this is not like some moral preaching session where I'm telling you not to violate the law. You should know that already. I'm telling you to get your finances straight. Because when you're aged 64 or 65, you want to be financially set. Because you're hitting the later years of life. And you don't want to be struggling around. You don't want to lack money. And so, in order to not lack money, in order to have money, a good way to do so would be to start learning how to sell. And learning how to sell assumes that you know a little bit about persuasion. And a good place to start learning about persuasion and how it relates to sales and business would be to subscribe to my email list. The link to do so is below the episode description wherever you're watching it or listening to this. It's also a publisher list where you can buy ad spots. Get subscribed, and I'll see you on the other side.